Today we're providing mealtime assistance for our client here, Peter Parker. So while setting up the area, we make sure that we're in a quiet area that's got little to no distractions, as sometimes mealtimes can be difficult and embarrassing for the clients if they're unable to swallow properly or keep food or fluid in their mouth. So we set them up in an area away from noise and away from other people. We ensure that he is sitting correctly. He is to be sitting upright with his hips right to the back of the chair. This will enable him to keep himself straight. The head is to be brought forward a wee bit, but not tilted up. Otherwise, this opens up the airway and lets the food go down the airway instead of the throat. Making sure that his feet are flat on the floor. Yep, and that your head is facing forward. Me as a carer or an assistant, normally I would sit in front of the client so that I could watch them chewing and swallowing, to watch their face for any discomfort or difficulties while they're chewing or swallowing. And it also is good support for me, and it protects my back from any straining. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to sit to the side. Also, if I was to be standing over the client, this will cause them to tilt their head up to look at me, and again opening the airway, and then there's possible risk of choking if the food ends up down the airway instead of going down the throat. Okay, so hi Peter, let's get on with this meal, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to assist you with your meal today. Okay. So today, Peter, I would like to ensure that the food is going where it's supposed to, that you're able to swallow your food with little to no difficulty. So Peter, if you wouldn't mind starting to eat. And then if it's okay with you, I'd just like to place my fingers on your throat just to check to see how you're swallowing. Just checking that the chewing motion is moving the food towards the back of the mouth, and that this movement is triggering Peter's swallowing reflex, which it has. And then I felt that the food is travelling down the throat and towards the stomach. Sometimes if the airway is not blocked off properly, food can enter the airway and cause a cough or choking, trying to dislodge the piece of food or the fluid from the airway. Do you want to have another piece? Let's see how you go. Again, just checking that you're chewing and that the food is moving towards the back of the throat. Ready? And there goes the swallow, and the food is moving down. If you wouldn't mind, say ah. Ah. There we're listening for a change in voice or a gurgly noise, which would indicate that there may still be food present. And then if we can also look in the mouth, close it down, just to make sure that there is no food left in the mouth. And then listening for voice changes or listen for coughs or throat clearing that may indicate that the food or fluid is getting stuck or going down the airway and not going down the throat. We also need to ensure, we also can provide Peter with a drink that can also help clear the mouth of any food residue. If you wouldn't mind having a drink, Peter. Just a little sip at a time. Then if I can get you to say ah, ah, then by listening to that there's no gurgling noises, so it usually indicates that you have swallowed the food. We also need to ensure that we check for any additional instructions that may need to be followed if Peter is following a meal plan. And these can be things like the use of modified utensils or adapted bowls, plates or cups. This can help maintain his independence when he's eating. Sometimes if they can not be able to use normal utensils, so we just need to build them up a wee bit so it gives them greater movement and, as I said, maintain their independence. The client check, there may be extra instructions as the client may need to remain upright for during the meal and then for a specified time after the meal, just to ensure that the food is going down their throat properly, has not sat in their mouth for a little while after they've finished their meal, so that we reduce the risk of them choking. We also need to check to see whether there's any assistance may be required towards the end of the meal time, as sometimes the client can tire before finishing their food. Then they run the risk of not getting enough to eat. So the goal of mealtimes is to ensure that the client can enjoy their mealtimes without incident, with minimal or no assistance required if possible. Do not rush the meal. Have them maintain a relaxed pace, giving the client time to chew properly and swallow in their own time.